All right, welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Dom Juan, Jared Suter. The ear god isn't with us today, but always with us in spirit.
Just moments ago with us, but for the sake of the pod, he kind of took one for the team. He's sitting this one out. A lot of internet complications, IT
right.
things,
He'll
this
be
and
back.
that and whatnot.
He'll be back. But we are starting off our first guest of season 4 officially here. Very special man in the building. I would say he is one of the most diverse and talented guests that we've maybe had on the platform before. His catalog is vast. He's well connected. Been making some crazy noise.
The Richter scale's going off, dude. The motion's crazy.
Undeniable. I mean, photographer, videographer, mentor, coach. I mean, I think I might have seen like a pretty big commercial just drop. We'll talk about that. But yeah, you name it. You can catch him on the Cardinals field, the Sun Stadium. He's all over the place. We had the opportunity to meet him last year at Neek's listening party. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Dub today.
What's going on, man? Hey, that's a good intro.
We'll get the claps for you after that.
Courtside, baseline.
That's cool, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm happy to be here, and you telling me that it's the first episode of the new season. I'm grateful and blessed. So yeah, I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it, man. So Dub, we like to take it back a bit, start with some of your backstory, and then work our way to current. But from what we learned, born and raised in Yuma.
Yep.
For those who watch our
born in Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Maryville.
Oh,
yeah, I was born in Maryville. At a young age, I moved to Yuma, but Yuma's home. Like
okay.
I've been in Yuma since I was a baby, so it's damn near like born and raised there.
You were practically born there.
Yeah, that's my city for sure.
So for those watching our podcast who may not be familiar with Arizona, Phoenix, or somewhere like Yuma, how would you describe Yuma?
If they've been to Tucson, it's like a small city, small town, rural, a lot of farmland, agriculture's big there, so it's a border city. You got a lot of Hispanics out there. It's like little Mexico is like pretty much what it is. It's on the border of California and Mexico, so we would walk across the border, walk across the bridge, and we're in California. So
damn.
Yeah.
So you get to be in three
places. They call it the ocean bridge. You go across the bridge, you go from Arizona to Cali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right there.
So
yeah,
we're
on
right
the way
there.
to San Diego too. You drove through there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Now, have you heard this? This might be kind of a one-off thing, but I've heard from like different like podcasts and different like Instagram things that they call Yuma. Some people call Yuma the center of the world. Have you heard this?
They have like this little statue that says like it's the center of the world. It's like on the way to El Centro, but I don't know if it's the actual center of the world. It might just be someone put a statue there and people start believing it.
I know. I've been seeing like kind of random things, and when I think maybe the algorithm picked up on like we were interviewing, someone who has Yuma ties, and it was like, oh, like Yuma might be the center of the world, and I was like, I never heard that before. It's some wild shit.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if it actually is.
Right?
I'm sure I've Googled it before, but I just can't remember.
Honestly, if someone plopped it there, the confidence to do that. Pretty tremendous.
Yeah, you just hey, I'm gonna just
we should do that.
Here.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go do that in Bisbee.
Change the course of history just because we said so. That's crazy.
Some pioneer came out there. He was like, "Holy shit,
man,
this is the center."
And so, growing up in Yuma, essentially, when did you realize you had this gift of yours? Right, you're clearly good at what you do. Like, when did you realize you had that talent?
I've always been, a creative kid. Growing up, I was athletic. I played all sports. I was just really into everything, entertainment, athletic. I just loved everything about that. But I think the moment I realized I had a gift, or not necessarily a gift, but I took a liking to certain things, was obviously music. Growing up, my mom would blast R&B in the house and do all that stuff, so I always loved music. So people that know me as Shot by Dub, they don't know that I used to be an artist, right? So I grew up making music, and because I made music, I always had an artistic eye when I was thinking about how I wanted to shoot my music videos for my songs. So a lot of the music videos that I had out, I would write my treatment. I would put down the ideas. I would do all that stuff. And music and that goes hand in hand, like the artistic, creative eye. But the moment I realized that I had something with the camera side, it was when I was 9 or 10 years old, and I was watching Men in Black. And I remember watching it and thinking the whole time as I'm watching the movie, how did they get this shot to look like this? Or how did they get the color to look like this? Or like the CGI at the time. I'm like, dang, that's fire.
Men in Black was
why does Will Smith look so cool?
Yeah, and it's just like, it's the opening scene. He's running, he's jumping, he's doing all this. And I'm like, the cinematography, I think I fell in love with. at that moment. And then from that moment, I just started watching things differently. I could never, even before I even knew how to work a camera, I never watched something as like a fan. I just watched it and I like picked things in my brain. Like,
From almost like a cinematic perspective,
yeah,
right?
like it's just, I always had an eye for it.
What would it take to get that shot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know because I didn't know cinematography. I didn't know how to work a camera, but my mind was like, that's cool. And then, you know, fast forward, I taught myself how to use a camera, and it was
on.
Yeah, it was on.
Well, and I don't know if this is right, but from kind of what I've seen, like, did you kind of, I don't know if I want to use the word, the terms, get your break, but like 2017, was that like a different maybe year for you? Or was there a certain point in your career where like things you just felt were going in a different direction than they had been?
I can't remember the exact time where I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. I think it was maybe closer to COVID era where I started like doing stuff, and then that's when I quit my regular job. I quit my job mid-COVID.
Really?
And I was like, I was doing sales.
Everyone's getting laid off. Everyone's worried about losing their job. You're like, I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna take this chance. I don't know what it was. If I had an epiphany, or if there was just like, I'm like, dang, I gotta change something.
Something wasn't vibing.
Something wasn't vibing, and I've always told my wife, even when like we first got together, I said, I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. I never will be. I'm just doing this to make sure we're comfortable. But as soon as I'm able to start my own business or do my own thing, I'm gonna do that. So she always knew I was business minded and entrepreneur, kind of spirit, and I would always tell her, like, I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. So when I had the opportunity to quit my job, it was when I was making more money outside than I was at my regular. And I had a decent job. I was doing solar sales. And I was an insurance agent.
Oh, solar out here is always booming.
So I'm like, it's a hard thing to walk away from. It's scary.
But you're already hustling. Those jobs. You're doing it in an office, and you can say like, I'm a 9-to-5 guy. I'm a corporate. You're hustling. If you're doing sales like that,
you're a hustler.
Tough. I've done that for a bit.
You got to be self-motivated for sure.
You got to want it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be. It's not easy.
That's what I tell people.
You can't be sensitive either. Can't be a fragile guy. Can't be fragile soul.
Not at all. You got to learn
get
how to
some
hear the
fuck
no's.
yous for no reason.
Yeah. They tell you all the time, you'll get 1,000 no's before you get a yes.
Yep.
So I'm perfectly fine with getting no's.
But when you flip that switch to be able to look at it as like, all right, I need 99 no's before I get to a yes. Like, let's get them out of the way. All right, thanks. Yeah, fuck myself. Love it. Thanks.
And once you get that yes,
I'll do that in 10 minutes after I get off this call block. Yeah.
I only need one opportunity. If I get one opportunity, it's game over.
Yeah.
That's it. You could tell me no 1,000 times. You tell me yes one time, you're going to wish you told me yes the
Jerry
other
Maguire,
1,000.
I'm good in the living room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm curious to know kind of about the name, Dub, and then shot by Dub. And I think, too, just aesthetically, how it looks like, I guess, like on social media and stuff, it looks smooth, man. But yeah, the name, any meaning, special meaning behind that?
So it goes back to the music side of things.
Yeah.
So growing up, from my city, when I was making music, and I was about maybe like 12, 13, one of my boys gave me a nickname, A-Dub. My name is Adrian.
Okay.
I don't know where the dub came from.
It just sounded good.
It just sounded
AD,
good.
Yeah, AD.
Yeah. Well,
AD,
actually,
yeah.
it was a different story. So like, we're walking down the neighborhood, and then this is back in my days when I was a little knucklehead, right? And I'm like, hey, I need a rap name. Like what should I call myself? And then my boy's a knucklehead. He said, hey, your name Adrian. I got this dub of weed. Why don't you just call yourself A-Dub? And I was like,
perfect fit.
Hey, I like it. Like, it has a ring to it.
He could have made one of those like early online things with the rap name generators. Yeah,
exactly. It was kind of like that. I just asked my boy.
A-Dub.
And it's crazy because when I heard it, I was like, okay, I like that, but I can't tell that story to like everybody, right? So I need to make it a way to like
if
be
grandma
me.
asks,
you're not gonna tell your kids
grandma.
you're coaching too. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna tell you why I have my name, but I like the sound of it, so I wanted a deeper meaning to it. So my whole nickname when I was younger making music and stuff was A-Dub the Prodigy, and it was because it was Adrian was dubbed a prodigy. So I kind of like played with the words a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So I just called myself A-Dub the Prodigy, but everyone called me A-Dub for short. And then as I got older, everyone just started calling me Dub. And then,
I remember when Neek was here, he said something. He was like, I think Dub just texted me. And I was like, you mean shot by Dub?
I mean, it's
I'm pretty sure I think that's what
it's really a badge of honor to have your name just consistently shortened over time.
Yeah.
Because it's just like at a certain point, you have so much motion. So many people know you that it's just out of convenience sake for everyone involved.
Yeah.
They have to just call you by the shortest name.
Dub.
Dub.
Yeah.
And
the
get
best-
your
Call me
attention.
Dub.
Well, and usually the best nicknames come from the homies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
you usually run with what they call you.
Yeah,
anyway,
but I'm a
so.
community leader, so I can't tell that story all the time.
It's got to be something too you can shout across like a party too, like Dub.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy. It ain't, and
That's why
multiple people will look, but the right person will look.
Yeah, a lot of people call me Adrian now, which is kind of weird because I haven't been called Adrian so many times in my life.
Like, am I in
as
trouble?
I am
Or?
now. Yeah,
I got a friend.
but I'm used to it.
Not as much of a name, but he went by Jim or Jimmy, and now he's going by James. And
That's
I'll
crazy.
be honest, it throws
It's a
me.
weird
That's
transition.
a weird. That's a
It's
crazy
throwing
transition.
me.
Like,
And
what?
I'm like, James.
Nobody does
I feel
that.
like I'm
Yeah.
like, how's my portfolio? No.
That's crazy. I'm gonna need to do that. Start calling myself Angel or something.
Just completely switch it up.
It's actually on hell and make them do that.
Yeah. I was just talking to one of my boys today, and because his middle initial was L, and I said, "What's the L stand for?" He said, "Nothing. It's just a letter. They just wanted me to like. His name is John." And he's like, John L. They just wanted to sound like Spanish.
John
But I was like,
It
that's
does
crazy.
have a nice ring to it.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean anything. No, it's just a single letter for a middle name. That was kind of crazy.
Jeez.
That was funny.
What else, Jared? I think speaking of like hustling, like Jared mentioned, you're kind of in a lot of mixed different bags. I think I might have came across. Do you have is it a clothing brand, Isolated Couture?
Isolated Couture, yep.
Talk to us about that.
Me and my boy, Dio, shout out Dio. I was just looking for different ways to be an entrepreneur, and I've always loved fashion and I've always loved clothes. And he has a brand called Flylac. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
I've seen you advertise, and I think Neek has maybe done.
Neek is be rocking Flylac. So he got a brand called Flylac, and he's just real cold with the behind the scenes stuff. Like he knows, how to do merchandising and manufacturing. So he came to me with an idea, and he was like, "Yo, why don't we do like a high fashion kind of streetwear brand?" And I was like, "I'm with it." So me and him started it. It's very much in the first kind of stages, but we've been able to get some people in it, and I haven't been able to dedicate as much time as I'd like to because you do all this kind of stuff. But the brand
It's hard
is
when
fire.
you're going from the Talking Stick Arena to the State Farm.
And then
stadium.
you're going to practice fields and doing the dad thing and the husband thing, but that's what
That
we
takes
asked
a little
for,
bit
right?
of time, yeah.
So, we want to do more with that this year. We dropped a couple of capsules and teas and stuff. So hopefully this year we'll be able to drop a little bit more, give it a little more time and effort. But it's a fly brand, man. We got a couple dope ideas.
The website was dope. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you see websites, you're like, they look like they whipped that up quickly. Yours was complete opposite of that.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
What's it take to get something going, like just at a high level, like a clothing business? Like you have to source you have to put designs in, you have to make sure the material's right, it gets produced right, marketing.
I think all that is big, and that's one of the things that we wanted to capitalize on was just the quality of it. Like we weren't just trying to get like a regular tee. He pretty much made a Frankenstein tee. He took a couple different fabrics and different cuts and did this, and we got the outside stitching on the shirts. It's a high quality shirt.
There's nothing worse than seeing like a cool, like you get fed an Instagram ad for a shirt and it's like, damn it actually worked this time. It's perfect. And you order it and you get it back and it's just like the worst quality, like fat collar Hanes.
No, exactly. And that was my biggest thing too. Is if I start a brand, if I put my name behind something, it's got to be quality. Like I'm not gonna.
You gotta rock it.
If I don't want to wear it, I'm not gonna drop it. Right. So. Yeah, so we focus on a lot of quality, but I think the biggest thing to get that going is the branding. A lot of people sleep on branding. They have a great quality product, but nobody's seeing it. And if nobody sees it, nobody's gonna buy it. You could have the nicest sweatsuit in the world, and if nobody knows what it is or has seen it, you're not gonna sell anything. So I think the branding aspect of that is good, but you have to package it right. The logo has to be clean.
You could have the best sweatsuit in the world. If they don't see it on Tony Soprano, it means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So you start getting that branding together.
Yeah.
Just like within range, once I seen you guys and names started popping up, and I was like, oh, the quality of it. Like I like the way that they package everything. Like it looks clean. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, okay, bet I could rock with that. But
hell yeah,
it makes people take a look at you.
And it's funny, he talks about branding. Drew Eargod talks about that all the time, and he's like, even like we're got some new logos up here for the new season, and that is important because that's what people are going to see, and that's what you kind of need to put your stamp on for people to recognize you consistently. So
I've noticed too, like, cause I like you said earlier, like I watch TV when I'm hanging out with like my girl and stuff or like the family, but like if I'm watching something by myself, it's on YouTube. And when I watch podcasts, and I've seen like my own evolution of like what I watch, what brings me in. And I do think there's something too, like you'll find some early adopters and those people just want to see growth. Like they want to see like, okay, I like this. Am I wrong for thinking this? And then they'll slowly, if they start to see the support or you're working towards something, they're like, no, you know what? I'm watching something. This isn't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
some goofball that's just gonna. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot for watching.
They could tell
like
that
I'm
something
investing
special
early.
is,
Yeah,
is,
like
is,
I'm
is about to happen.
I'm on the ground floor here, and
Yep.
when this goes, I'm gonna tell everyone like, no, I've been watching since season 2, dude. Like,
That's fire. And that's beautiful when that happens. People
Yeah.
start following the grind, and they're like, "Yo, I've been rocking with you since you started shooting." I had some people tell me that, like, "Bro, I've been following you since 2017," and I'm like, "Damn, like."
what's the biggest compliment? What and maybe not like from the biggest person, or what's the compliment or comment you've received that just like touched you the most?
I think it's just like people tell me like you're the reason I got started, and because in my mind, I'm regular, right? I come from a small town, so I don't think I'm on a pedestal. And sometimes people come to me and they're like, "You influenced my whole career. Like you're the reason I bought a camera. You're the reason I started." And they tell me stuff like that, and it's super humbling, and it feels crazy because it doesn't feel like I'm anybody that you know.
You're just Dub.
Me, I'm just
You're
Dub.
Adrian.
I just do me. I definitely try to motivate people and try to set people up for success and try to not gatekeep and give people the tools and keys. So I just feel like I should be fanboying over other people.
Sure,
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like you have the imposter syndrome sometimes.
Yes.
Where it's like you look at your work and you're like, oh yeah, I think my work is cool, but I like his work better than my
Like
work.
my shit ain't shit compared to
Yeah,
his.
but then that guy's like, I like your work better than my work, So it's
Yeah.
just one of those things that's really weird, but it's a dope compliment to receive because, as a content creator, it's always nice when someone is motivated or influenced by you, because then it feels like you're doing the right thing. So
Yeah,
I think that's
absolutely.
like the best compliment that I've got.
Well
That's
said,
awesome,
man.
Yeah, wow.
So if I seen this correctly too, did you start a flag football league
So it's a flag football club.
club?
Actually, it's a sports club. So we have basketball and we got football. So
Wow. Most people will try to get a team together to play a sport. You started a club.
yeah. Like I said, I grew up playing sports,
Okay.
and
You still ball, I think, from what I see.
I still hoop. You know what I'm saying? I still hoop. I might pull a hammy every now and then.
Listen,
now.
I'm with
my
you
ankles
there,
don't feel
dude.
the same. My back is sore after the games, but staying active is important to me, and taking care of your body. So, I grew up playing sports, and I've always been athletic and did things at a high level. I played club ball. I played on all-star teams, and it was my life: basketball, football, baseball, you name it. I was the key players and all the teams.
You were that kid who was like year round. You were playing.
Yeah, I
something.
was the pitcher, point guard, shooting guard.
So high school was a really rough time for you. Probably not lot of ladies. It was, that was a time of growth for you. You looked within.
Actually,
Probably an introvert.
I look back and I'm like, I was a knucklehead in high school, man. I
Who
barely went
wasn't,
to school.
man?
I barely graduated, but the only thing that kept me going was sports. And my dad was in prison pretty much my whole childhood, in and out of prison. So my coaches were like my dads. Really, they taught me life lessons, and they were there to take me to practice, and they fed me. My mom was very, very much involved. She was at all my games. She would go to my practices, but that father figure wasn't there, right?
Need that.
Well, I had my stepdad and stuff like
yeah.
that, but it's just different. You know what I'm saying?
When you have that, and not to cut you off, like I know like that coaching relationship is almost like another form of father figure.
Especially when you got a good coach. That's the difference. You can have a bad coach and it doesn't mean nothing to you, but when you got a good coach, and it's like, damn, like I look back and I'm like, my coaches really cared for me. They really loved me. You know what I'm saying? So when I started Heat Wave is because I wanted to be that for kids, right?
Wow.
And I wanted to give kids the opportunity to, play at a high level, but not only play at a high level, but look good. One of my biggest things is I want them to look good, feel good, play good, right? So we put a lot of time and emphasis into the uniforms. We put a lot of time and emphasis into our content team.
Yeah.
These guys behind you, they shoot our videos. They volunteer their time to take.
Everything looks sick too, from what I can see.
So it's like it's something that I wanted to start just to be able to give kids an opportunity to grow, not only as players but as young leaders in their community. So yeah, it's my baby, man. I love it.
Wow,
that's cool. I think that's an important thing you said too, because it's like people say like sports a microcosm of life. You learn how to win, you learn how to lose. You can lose graciously, win graciously. But like with the coach thing, like you said, I have a stepdad. The discipline maybe it's baked into that, but not really, because it's also there's like the "you're not my dad" thing. Like as someone with step parents, on
Yeah,
all
yeah.
sides.
It's a weird, like, you don't want to overstep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want to overstep, so it's like it's a weird place. It's baked into the contract.
Mhm.
It's part of the contract with a coach. And
Yeah.
so like they're harder on you, but it is good for you. But you're more mentally prepared for it, whereas like at home it's like it's supposed to be the safe place or whatever.
Yeah,
but
they-
like
they
the
would,
coaches can be hard on you, and it's
They would
good.
check me.
Yeah.
You know, they
You need that
they,
though.
they would
You're
tell
like-
me, "Hey, you're a great kid, but you gotta adjust your personality, or you know, you're a knucklehead. You get angry quick. You gotta learn how to control your emotions, and it's things as a kid like you're not really thinking about that. You know,
13,
it's,
Like, what are you
14,
talking
15?
about, dumbass? I'm angry.
yeah, especially coming from like a household where your mom is raising you. Like my mom for years was a single mother, right? So it's like she's trying to be a father and a mother
and
but-
grind at the same
Yes,
time.
but I need a male figure to
Yes.
teach me how to be a man, and I didn't have that. But my coaches gave that to me, right? So those guys mean the world to me. You
And,
got
for,
a good,
and I can see why you'd want to get back in that
Yeah.
aspect, right? Similar to what you
and,
got.
and they're the reason why I wanted to give back because I want kids to feel that, right? So all of our coaches within our organization, they all love the kids. They'll pick up kids and take them home. They'll feed them. Sometimes we buy their jerseys if they don't have the funds to do it. Like they spend money out of their own pocket, which I spend money. I don't know how much money I spent out of my own pocket just to get it started to make sure everything was good. But now it's like now we're getting the attention and the brands, and my youth sports organization is the only thing that I ever ask favors for. I don't ask favors for nobody in the industry that I know as far as my connects. The only time I'll ever ask for a favor is for the kids, and they'll always love supporting the kids.
Got to.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
What else, man? I mean, so much. I've been seeing lately. You've been promoting. Is it Sauna Box?
Yeah, Sauna Box, man.
Dude, it looks so. My mother-in-law, she's got this like wooden small sauna that is in her room. I've
Yeah.
used it a few times. This product looks different, and I guess can you kind of talk about like how you got involved with that and the product itself?
It's crazy because as my social
Who doesn't love a good sauna too?
Yeah,
by the way,
right.
too?
Yeah. I've gotten fed ads for them too.
Yeah,
That's
no.
the box, the tent. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it was kind of random how it happened. So as my social media grew, brands start reaching out to you and they want you to test out their product and post about it. You understand how that goes. But there be always companies, reaching out to me, and I'm very big on like my morals. So if a company
Does it make
reaches out-
sense too? Right?
Yeah, I gotta like it. Like, or I gotta want to support it. Like, if someone's hitting me and they want me to support an energy drink, I don't drink energy drinks, so I'm not gonna post about energy drinks.
Doesn't
right?
make sense.
You're not taking the prime check.
Yeah, it's got. Well, Prime. I think they got like regular like drinks, right?
Yeah,
Armor?
they do. Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
like the monsters. And
Yeah.
things
Not,
like,
it's
I can't-
what's cool about the prime regular drinks is it's like it's water
Mhm.
with electrolytes and like all the sugar you need in it. So it's
Yeah,
nice. It's
yeah.
one drink. You're done.
Yeah. So I would always like just make sure that the product that I'm promoting is something that I would actually buy and stand behind.
Yeah.
So they sent me a sauna box, and I've been real big on taking care of my body. As you get older, you want to make sure you take care of your body. So I've been real heavy on that side of things, and they sent it to me. I didn't even make a video about it until 2-3 weeks after I got it because I wanted to make sure it was something that I was gonna get behind.
test it out a bit.
Man, I'll tell you, this thing changed my life, bro.
Did it?
Really?
Not even on like a sauna, health kick. It's just more mentally for me because it's a 2x2. It's like small.
Yeah,
right?
it looks like it's like a,
It's like a phone
pop up
booth.
almost.
It's like
Yeah.
heat or not, it gives you time to go almost meditate.
It
Yeah.
put me in an isolation booth is what it did. As an
Oh, wow.
entrepreneur, you do 1,000 things in a day, right? So it that was the only time that I ever got where I just sat with myself, and I would put it in. I have it in my garage, so I turn the lights off and I just sit there in complete darkness. Or I have like
Some
the
Aaron Rodgers
I have like
type
one,
shit. Yeah, I was gonna say
I have,
that.
if that's what I felt like for real.
For
I had
real.
I have an LED on or something, but I would
Some
just
red
sit there.
lights. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember like I don't know when the last time I was able to sit by myself and not have to talk to anybody.
Hear outside noise.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a sensory deprivation kind of thing, but it's not. I don't know if it was designed to do that, but that's what it did for me.
Sure.
Everyone has their own journeys,
Absolutely.
but when I did it, I was like, dang, like my world is like. I was answering questions that I had in my mind, and I'm like, damn, like, how can I be a better father? How can I be
Went
a
on a
better
vision
husband?
quest in there.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
real,
dang, and
dude.
I was having this conversation with my wife, and I was like, man, like this, it like really helped me reflect mentally and kind of like ask those questions and give those answers to myself. So I love it, man.
I need to cut. What's the price of one of those
I
things?
think it's like $400.
Okay.
So I mean,
Do you use it every day?
Desert Diamond.
I use it every day.
Use it every day.
Yeah,
Is it like
and
a first thing in the morning for you type
Nah,
of
I
thing?
like to use it before bed because it relaxes you.
Interesting.
As soon as you get out,
I'm just saying that's Andrew Huberman thing, dude. So when you sleep, you cool. Okay. So that's why when you take a hot bath, a hot shower, sit in the hot tub, do something like that, you get hot and then you start cooling off. That's why you get sleepy.
Yeah, it's crazy. The science of it is wild. But there's a lot of good health benefits for saunas. It helps you regulate your blood pressure, your cardiovascular, all that stuff, man. So it's good for you.
You ever seen the Swedes,
oh, yeah, for sure.
Denmark's with the Swedes and all that? They do the sauna competitions. You ever seen
that?
No,
I haven't seen that.
Dude, they crank those motherfuckers up to like 130.
Like a Turkish bath, dude,
and they just got guys in there, Happy Gilmore, and just fucking gutting it out until they either pass out. They've had.
There's some people that do it for
some fatalities.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It happens.
Yeah, push it.
Some people do an hour. I'm good with 30.
I was gonna say hours.
30 minutes. I'll do like 25.
30, dude.
Yeah.
Those are Joe Rogan numbs, dude. Yeah. Those are for real Joe Rogan numbs right there. You hitting the ice bath?
Nah, hell no.
Hell no?
I hate the cold.
I gotta work to that one. So I'm good with the heat.
You're Arizona boy.
The cold plunge is different for me, bro. But that has its own benefits as well.
My question with the ice baths, I've done the cold showers thing. Mm-hmm. I've done that, and there's something to that. Is it a pleasant way to start your day? No, but you're awake after. You're ready to go after.
We had this conversation the other day too. All the stuff that's good for you is hard to do.
That's actually a good point.
The gym, right?
Yeah.
You tear your body down to build it up. Everything that makes you uncomfortable makes you better.
If you voluntarily do hard things, the involuntary hard things are easier for you, dude. That's the way that works.
Yeah,
that's the way it works, dude. That's 100%. But yeah, no, for real, 30 minutes. Yeah, the ice bath. My question is always like, how many hours or minutes afterwards are you at back to full size, dude? Because I mean, you got to be out of production.
That's what you're thinking about.
Imagine having to take imagine you got to take a leak after that, dude.
You got to wait at least 10, 15 minutes.
Dude.
You got to wait at least 10, 15 minutes.
You get some collateral damage if you're doing it before
that sound like you.
It's not my jam, dude. I need a nice hot shower to start the day. I'll figure it out.
Just hop in the sauna right after.
There you go.
I don't even know if that's good for you, but you should probably do that if that's what you're worried about. That's hilarious. That's funny.
Man. Not to put you on the spot and make you like kind of choose, but I guess based on everything you do, right? I mean, music videos, photography, you run a club team. Is there anything that you would say you might turn the passion up just a bit more for, or is it kind of just like generally like you're an entrepreneur, so like you're heavily involved in all these things?
I was just telling my boy Kemper right here that it's important to know the balance, right? I do all these different things, but I do focus on one to like. Sure. I need to make sure I build this up, and once I build this up to a certain point,
then it shifts.
Then I shift to the next
thing.
It's
an equation.
Instead of trying to do 1,000 different things, and then you get burnt out because you're trying to spread yourself thin, right? Yeah. So right now, my goal, which is for the club, is just to grow that and make sure that we got the funding, we got the resources, we got the coaches to be able to, assist the kids and things like that, and make sure that they're able to do what I want them to do. On my camera side, it's more like I'm focused on the bigger projects this year. So I'm like, I need to hop in that bag of doing the extra stuff that's going to make the project be a little more than just a regular shoot. So I'm focusing on cinematography more, the lighting aspect of it, sound design, all those things. So I think I have like goals that I want to do, but I'm not trying to do all these things at one time. I'm trying to like
not too much,
kind of stagger it a little bit to where I'm able to focus, but it doesn't make me like, I don't know,
like lose track of the other, right? Because if you're doing all these things that you're passionate about, you don't want like one to kind of sag off because you're paying attention too much to one. You want them to all be general, which is why you have to shift. It makes sense.
I mean, all my time goes to either the kids or my business, and obviously my family as well. So
it's a good dude right there.
Yeah, I'll be trying, man.
Man,
I feel like with like dedicating your time and stuff like that too. Shit, I forgot where I was going with that. Go for it.
All right. Well, I probably didn't even get half of the list of the people that he's worked with.
List is crazy, dude.
We got some names of some of the people that we saw that you might have worked with. I guess before we name some names, anyone that you've shot and or worked with, music video wise, photography wise, was there anyone that I guess was special to you, or like you maybe felt differently than some of the others? Anyone in particular you could shout out? I guess.
Anyone have an aura?
There you go.
I think it was real dope to shoot or get the opportunity to shoot like Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, because those are guys that I grew up on.
Dude,
that's crazy.
I missed
don't
those
think
ones.
I'm looking at the list right now. It looks like kind of looks like the Met Gala invite list. Honestly, I'm looking at the list. It's crazy, dude.
Wait, so were they all at one spot and you shot them all?
So
Or
I
was
was
this
able to. So I went to Kentucky to shoot the Mount Rushmore. I forget what the tour name was, but it was Snoop, Ice Cube, Too Short. I went out there with my guy Richie. He's tapped in with all of them.
Richie Evans?
Yeah, Richie Evans.
Oh, no way. Wow,
So
okay.
me and Richie went out there. So I was able to, before the show, get the
Got the VIP treatment.
Yeah, the VIP treatment.
No
they're doing their pre-show warm ups.
Did Snoop pass the blunt anywhere in your direction? Possibly.
Possibly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Possibly he might have. You know what I mean?
I just gotta say that's the last place when you say you shot those guys. That was the last place I was expecting to hear. This last state that I expected
Kentucky
that to
was
be taking place.
It was at the Rump Arena.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Rupp
Oh, wow.
where the Wildcats play.
Yeah, where Duke plays. Yeah.
Oh, wow, Duke. Okay.
Oh, North Carolina. That's North Carolina.
No, Kentucky.
The Wildcats, Kentucky.
Okay,
yeah. The
I'm sorry,
college.
yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, so it was there, and so it was real cool to like see the Rupp Arena,
Legendary.
and witness Snoop Dogg was right next to the stage. I dapped up Ice Cube and was able to what I'm saying.
Ice
soak
Cube's
up
lore. I mean, all those guys are just legends.
Yeah, it's crazy
Absolutely.
because Ice Cube, like if you look at Ice Cube and you think how he would be in person, that's exactly how he is.
Really?
Yeah, he's like real reserved, like real cool, like OG, like yeah.
I had a buddy who met him one time, and I guess my buddy was like, "Man, it's so great to meet you." And Ice Cube was like, "It's great to meet you as well." My buddy was like, "What?"
yeah, he's cool, man. Like there hasn't really been a lot of situations where I met somebody and was like,
like starstruck type of thing.
Oh no, I was starstruck with Snoop Dogg.
Okay, I was gonna say,
that's
that
Snoop. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people, doing what you do for a living. You're around celebrities and athletes all the time, so to me, it's like all of these guys are regular people to me. You know what I'm saying? They put their pants on just like I put my pants on. So there's not really too many people that I would get starstruck over, but Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube definitely like Too Short. Like how could you not? You know what I'm saying?
50 Cent?
Yeah, 50 Cent.
21?
Yeah.
Booker, Kyler Murray, Wiz?
Crazy.
Yeah,
I would say those are names I would
Gucci?
get starstruck around. Gucci, yeah.
It's been a blessing, man.
Draymond Green, dude.
Yeah,
I saw that one.
Did he get physical with you?
Nah, he
No,
was
he
real
didn't?
cool actually.
Was it?
Yeah, he was real cool. Yeah, he
He
was
talk
real
some
cool.
shit?
Yeah, because I remember before I did the club pop up, I was thinking to myself like, how is because Draymond has a reputation to be a little confrontational.
Yeah,
and
you see him in
aggressive.
Subway commercials.
But
And you're
no,
like,
man,
he's getting these
he was the
commercials.
total
but he's, like,
opposite.
kicking people in the nuts on the court.
He was the total opposite.
Giving
He was
people
cool.
a foot long, dude.
Man.
Yeah, he was cool people, man. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of cool people, and it's kind of like surreal when you think about it, because where I'm from, like it's a small city, so it's kind of like you go from that, and then you're doing all this cool stuff. So yeah, I'm blessed, man. Grateful.
Can you share with us, like, I mean, was it a type of thing where someone hit you up to come shoot at like the stadiums, or did you kind of reach out to someone? I guess, how did you get those opportunities?
It's just networking, man. That's why I tell everybody, you got to get your networking game up. The reason I even started shooting, NFL and NBA was I was shooting music videos, and this dude hit me up to shoot a music video, and I pull up to the house, and then he's like, "Oh, you probably know who my brother is," and I was like, "Who's your brother?" And it was DJ Humphreys. So
Whoa.
it was his rookie year,
No
and
shit.
that was
That's
the
crazy.
very first athlete that I worked with, and
Wow.
Hump, that's my guy, man, and
You still tapped in?
yeah, every time I see him, it's like it's love,
Damn.
and he's not in AZ anymore, but every time I see him, he pops up in the city every now and then, or I'll see him, every now and then as well in different cities and stuff. And
That's sick.
every time I see him, it's love. And from when I started working with him, I told him like, hey man, like I do photos, like I love to like shoot your workouts or whatever you need me to do, and we just stay tapped in. And then from there, I met Marcus Golden, and Marcus Golden's my guy. You know what I'm saying? We locked in, and then once you get in that circle and the homies they like,
you go to one
like you need a guy,
50.
Dub,
Yeah,
what's good?
Yeah, exactly. And you know once you get around, you know, the athletes and celebrities, like they go with who they're comfortable with and who they know is gonna be someone they can have around that's not gonna have any ill intentions or you know, it's a wicked game. You can't trust a lot of people. So when they find somebody that they could trust and they're comfortable being around their family or being around their friends, that's when it's like, okay, yeah, this is my guy. You know, you do good business, you be a good person, and the opportunities are gonna come to you.
Wow. Yeah, my barber cuts up some of the sons, and I guess Jay Crowder, who I know you've worked with, I guess was one of his clients at one time when he was here, and I guess teased him. He was like, "Bro, you don't ever be asking for no pictures." And my barber's like, "Well, I didn't want to like look like I'm fanboying out. Like you're my client. I want to, I want to maintain this relationship. So yeah, you got to find that balance.
Yeah, it's a fine line you gotta walk between. But you know, once you find that fine line, everything just it falls in place for sure.
Now, not to go negative here, because we never promote negativity on this platform, but anyone at that level, celebrity level, that might have, I guess, not been quite what you imagined, or maybe, you know, maybe even did you not the greatest.
You know, like I said, I haven't really ran into a situation that is like, oh, this dude was a dick, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's more
complete
or less,
asshole. Like,
but then again, I like to take everything with a grain of salt. You know, everyone has bad days. You know, someone's character might be out of place one day, but that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. You know, I have my bad days. I'm sure I could seem a little grumpy sometimes. So I'd be like, you know, obviously, you know, there's certain situations where things might get crossed in different lines, but for me, there hasn't really been a situation that has been like, oh yeah, fuck that dude.
like no,
That's
like you would
impressive.
never. Yeah, I know. I was gonna say
at
for as
that
many
level, I
people
thought
as you've
you'd be
worked
like,
with.
oh yeah, there's one guy with
I mean, the thing you'll run into is like they're not as talkative, or they're not gonna, you know, talk to you like that. Which I'm cool. I'm an introvert now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, sometimes I don't even want to talk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If I'm here to shoot, like let's just shoot. You know, so I don't like to. I don't know. I don't like to kind of dwell on things. Whatever's gonna happen.
Well, with all the motion you got going on, yeah, you don't need again.
I think I'm just at a place in my life where I'm like, why let shit bother you, bro?
I was gonna say, I feel like you probably do have those exact same encounters people would probably tell us about normally, and you're like, they don't even register on your Richter scale, dude. You're like, nah, that's.
I don't like to give energy to certain things, so if I don't give the energy to it, it's not gonna affect me.
Yeah,
it's a good way to be, dude. You never know what someone's going through that day at that level too. It's just like this could be his sixth stop of the day, dude. At that point, he's tired.
Exactly.
I get quiet too when I'm tired.
For sure. If I don't have my coffee, I might get quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't like to hold it against people.
Yeah. One thing that's been kind of popping in my mind since we've been talking about some of these people, like, you know, you've shot, like, if we talk like Arizona, right, like the Odd Squads, the Futuristics, you've worked with a lot of Arizona artists. Based on what you've seen in your time shooting and working with artists here, where do you feel like Arizona or Phoenix music scene, I guess whether it's hip hop, R&B, whatever, where do you think it is, and where do you think like it's going?
Bro, it's been at the level that LA and Atlanta and Houston and New York and all these bigger states and cities have. It's just it's a combination of a few things that has been hindering Arizona from popping or having that one artist that it just skyrockets, right? And there's been a lot of great artists that have done a lot of great things. So I know a lot of friends personally that have had some great accolades, right? Mm-hmm. But there hasn't been that one artist that has been going crazy. And now there's some artists that are really making some noise, like Samara Sin and you know, Merkham's.
Yeah, shout out Merk.
Yeah, there's the Cactus Boys, and there's a ton. Jay Waves, Richie Evans, you know, I could go on and on and on. The scene musically, as far as like quality wise,
it's up there.
Nation, there's artists out here that De La Prima, Daily Finesse.
We might be interviewing De La Prima next week.
There's so many, like I could sit here and name artists for days. Like I could literally do that.
There's so much talent here. We've interviewed quite a good chunk of it in the time we've been doing this.
You know, all the guys I work with. I don't shoot music videos for a lot of people. Now I'm selective with who I work with. Before trying to get my buzz up, and you know, I'm hungry for work, so I'm working with all these artists, and you might take an artist that isn't really up to scale, you know what I mean? But now it's like I'm only working with the top dogs and the people that are really putting effort and that extra work behind their craft. And there's plenty of artists out here that have the ability to be mainstream and really sit on charts with the J. Coles and the Kendricks and the Coil Roy's and
Merkham's is We
Jacquees
Outside track has just been going
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean,
like,
it's catchy.
yeah,
you know?
and then he did the remix with the other,
Yeah.
AZ legends. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You're
man.
right.
So there's a lot of OGs that that definitely have my respect and have paved the way for the youngins to come in and really take over. But yeah, man, I think we compete with all those big
Yeah.
music giants in the world for sure.
Man,
It's just opportunity. That's all
That's what
that's
it
all they're
is.
missing.
yeah,
But now with the day and age that we have, with micro content and social media and podcasts and these things that are able to shed light on a certain artist that you may have never heard, now those artists are getting those looks.
Yep.
You're starting to see Arizona artists on these big music platforms.
now I've been seeing too. Shout out
Bootleg
98.3.
Kev.
Been playing more like Arizona
The
artists
thing
too.
is, 98.3 been doing it, but
Yeah.
they just kind of been inconsistent with artists that have been able to have that quality to be on there. So now
They gotta have the supply.
They gotta have the supply, which is what they had. But a lot of times, artists didn't really know how to package their stuff. Like that's all about branding,
Yep.
right? So we talk about that. You learn how to brand yourself. You know how to get your music seen and do these things on social media. That's what's gonna help you elevate. And right now, we're living in a world that has all these resources that allow you to be seen.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see that now, which is dope.
It's cool, man. One question I have for you, watching all the football games every Sunday, dude, big red zone guy. Are there any rules, etiquette things when you're on the sideline people might not expect, or any moments you've had there? Almost getting tackled.
It's kind of hard, bro. Like I think it's such a surreal feeling to like be on the sidelines.
It's
And
gotta be.
it's different. Like for me, I check out. Like I'm a Cardinals fan through and through, right? I'm born and raised in Arizona. I'm a
It's on your wrist,
It's,
dude.
it's all
Yeah.
over me. I'm Arizona, everything.
To the socks, dude.
So it's like shooting for the Cardinals. Obviously, it's a crazy blessing. Just shooting at NFL period because I'm with the NFL. I'm not necessarily with the Cardinals, but it's weird. It's kind of like
Surreal.
You kind of like mentally, like emotionally check out. Like I'm so focused on the shot that I don't celebrate touchdowns. Like if my team scores, I'm not like, yo,
That's good though. That's
Cameras
good.
going all over.
Normally you'd be like screaming at the TV, cardiac cars. That's what they. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, but it's weird when I'm on the sideline. I don't feel none of that. So to me, it feels kind of crazy. But it's such a surreal feeling to just be on the floor at the Suns Arena or on the grass at the stadium, and you're just looking around and seeing all these people. It's like what you dream of, right? So it's a crazy feeling, man. It's kind of hard to explain.
Man. Well, Dub, this has been awesome, bro. I mean, I'm happy we had you on. You kicked us off our season opener as far as the guest goes. Man, this was even better than we could have imagined. Talk to us about like. You're doing a lot of things. We've talked a lot about it here, but like, what are some of your goals in 2025? What are you looking to accomplish, and what is like next for you? Would you say?
I would say 2025. Like I said, I'm looking to do bigger things. Right. I want to direct Nike commercials and the
Dr.
Gucci's
You're already
and,
doing Dr. Peppers.
and those are great opportunities. And I want to continue doing those big projects. I want to continue growing the Heat Wave athletics organization, to be able to get it to where I want. My end goal is to have a facility, top-notch facility with cafeterias, classrooms, and
Kind of like a Snoop
way-
football league kind of deal.
kind of like
that?
IMG Academy, but not a
wow.
school.
Oh wow.
But
okay.
legit, yeah.
So
sounds
I
good.
want it to be where it's a big thing, but but teaching the kids like all about nutrition, education, teaching them about how to financial literacy, all those things. And so that's always going to be the goal. And 2025, that's one of the main goals. Obviously, my career, my family, being a better husband, better father,
Sure.
just keep growing individually. Because if you grow individually, you can grow as a family. So those are the goals that I have for this year.
Wow.
For sure.
Man,
Run through
well,
a brick wall, dude.
yeah, no shit. We've been keeping up with you, bro. We've been impressed. It was awesome to meet you last year. Neek's thing. Now getting your story here, like we tell this anyone who comes on our platform. Like if you come on our platform, we're locked in for the remainder of our time together, man. And it's an honor to hear your story, and excited to see everything you got coming, man. And we're gonna stay tapped in. We appreciate you coming today.
Yeah,
man, it's an
likewise,
honor.
man.
Thank you.
We family for life now.
Let's
Absolutely,
do it, bro.
dude.
Lock it
Let's
in.
appreciate
brother.
it.
I appreciate you guys for
Hell
having
yeah.
me on. And like you said, I came on here because I enjoyed what you guys do, and I enjoy seeing the content. And, you know, from this moment forward, just like before, you know, I'm tapped in just like you'll be tapped in with me. So y'all got my support.
Pop out to games, maybe start doing some sponsorship for the Heatwave football. Hey, let's collab.
Trying to get on that college game day type
I'm
stuff.
always with that. Like, I'm building everybody up. We got to do it together. So, yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Heatwave banner going to come up here.
Let's go. Yeah, right there on the
Let's
TV.
do it.
Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate
Hell
y'all.
yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, so you guys, I'm going to get some